managed to eliminate Kaizer Chiefs. But did you observe that that same season, when Zesco United got into the group stage,
The top scorer was Gambo.
no.
Zambian.
No. Let's continue. When Zesco United got into the group stage,
But most of them, that successive period had Redford Triple C. Who is this guy? Kaizer Chiefs.
Gambol.
Gambol.
Doing location unknown. Location unknown. I'm joined with Pancherelo Chama, and of course, I won't use the name that I want to use. I'll just call him Jones, because most of you, when I use that name, you rush to his to that page. Now, my name is Bwezani. There's a lot that has been said about the foreign quota of course, limited number of players, and these two gentlemen that I am with today have been talking about this for years now. This is the second year in the running. The last time we met at this place, Punch was talking about the quota having affected Zambian football, and it will affect Zambian football. Jones was saying very brilliant suggestion and very brilliant proposals from the Football Association of Zambia. He thinks it's actually in good direction. We meet today to try to talk about it in detail. Not for long, so you don't have to log out, because once you log out, you'll miss out. By the time you come back, it will be difficult for you to interact with me, Punch, and of course, Jones. To start with Punch, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's wrong with you and the quota system?
I think it's a bad idea.
Okay.
It's a bad idea.
You still maintain it's a bad
It's
idea.
a very bad idea.
Jones, welcome.
Thanks, Bwezani.
Yeah, there's something I need to find out from you. Away from this quota, I know we'll talk about it in detail. What has managed people all of a sudden down to power dynamics?
It's a freedom. You know, it's given the players back for freedom, and he's also tweaked a little bit with the system, because we became a defensive team all of a sudden last season, and that was allowing a lot of opponents to push us in our own corner. We were allowing a lot of play to be played in our own half. So now he's done away with playing two defensive midfielders the way we used to do last season. Now we are having more attacking players in the forward places, and now players are enjoying football. And,
Perfect.
And the mistake he made was on the internal power. Yes.
He changed
the system.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that.
You changed the winning system and we lost it. I don't know why. You felt the pressure and you changed the system.
My thought was, everyone has been looking at what he has been doing, so getting into the derby, he wanted to do something different, and it costed
you can't
that.
beat Tinka. That's number one.
How
You are
many-
always going to
Punch,
okay.
how many foreign players do we have in the Power Dynamos team right now, those that have been?
We have about 4.
4.
Yeah.
That's a quota.
We are within. I think we have 4. We have Mala. We have Mweku. We have Bakotila, and we have this left back. What's the name again? We have one left back.
You had also, where's Tony Kazembe? Not seeing
Yeah, Tony
them.
Kazembe left
But
back.
then
Yeah.
there's the other guy also. There's a guy who used to play in the Premier League. He was at Forest. Then he moved. He used
That's
to
Mweku.
play. No, that's not there. I've forgotten his name. He was in the Premier League. I can't remember which club he went. He played for maybe Wigan. And then
Oh, the one who went to Russia and stuff.
Yeah, he went to
no,
Russia.
we got rid of that guy. He's over.
And that's exactly the question we are here. You've been supporting the quota system, of course proposed by the first AGM to be put into effect now. And we've seen clubs try to run away from getting foreign players now. And why are you supporting something that seems not to be working? We only have one team in the CAF Confederations Cup group stage, and a lot, including Panche, is pointing at the quota system to having been the reason.
We always have one team if we are doing well.
No.
Last time we only had Zesco. Now we have Zanaku.
no.
Let me.
No.
I want you to. I
No,
want you to give me.
I think I asked him a question.
All right, okay,
Why are you supporting the quota system, which looks like it's failing us?
No, the quota system, to be frank with it hasn't even yet been effected. So I don't see why someone would say it's affecting the club. That quota system will come into effect in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. It's something that was agreed to be implemented in 2023. And if you tell me it is affecting the club, it has affected the club. How has it affected the clubs? Because which superstar have we lost after these pronouncements were made? What players of influence have we lost from the Zambian league?
Let me get into the minds of those that say they have affected. Teams are now preparing towards the quota system, okay, so that when it comes, they don't get so much disturbed. So they've stopped bringing in foreign players that are supposed to be good and help them, okay, because they know if they bring them in, they cannot sustain them for the next 2-3 years. Okay, that's the reason as to why getting into this transfer window, we saw teams like Zesco United reducing on the foreign players and bringing in a lot of local players, and the effects have been bad.
The only success story we can talk about in this quota system, like you mentioned, you keep mentioning Zesco. There's no other team, right? It's only Zesco that you think had this system. Now, can I explain what you failed to understand with Zesco? Zesco actually had a lot of good Zambian players during that successive time. It's not the foreigners who made Zesco very successful. They contributed, yes, a few of them, but most of them, that successive period had Brentford Calabar, Triple C, who is this guy at Kaiser Chiefs?
Kambole.
We had Kapumbo, we had Jackson Banda. That team had a lot of superstars, Zambian-born superstars.
So that's Jones?
Yes.
He clearly supports the quota
so
system.
You can't give all the credit to Zesco's success to foreigners. Zesco, if you go back to those lineups, okay, let me tell you the lineups that Zesco had. If you go back to the lineup
prepared.
Yes.
He came prepared.
If you go back to the lineup of Zesco versus Kaiser Chiefs, okay? Zesco Kaiser Chiefs. Can I tell you the lineup?
Yeah.
Jackson Banda in goal. Sirwimba, Mwape, Kalonde, Piri. Then we have one foreigner, Kakum, then Mutonga, Kambole, Chingambo. We had Were and Osam. We had three. So in the Zesco versus Kaiser Chiefs, we had three foreigners. So it's not right to say. It's not right to say 5 are enough. When did Zesco win a game with more than 5 foreigners in a lineup? They're always having 5 or less. So 5 is enough. You can't have more than 5 and try to win a game, and that would bring confusion that Beautycon had and the Lusaka Dynamo.
Jones, I'll get back to you on the advantages of the quota system. At least you've tried to drive a point and give us benefit, especially aligning to Zesco, the most successive period where they only had 3.
Yeah.
Punch, you've labored this point several times, and you don't seem to agree with anyone who would actually be against the quota. Kindly just break it down as to why you think it is important for Zambia to still maintain all that big numbers of foreign players that come into the league.
Okay, so I'll bring back to John's point. Jones brings up a good point. I agree with him. Zesco managed to eliminate Kaiser Chiefs that year. This was the
yeah.
So that was the 2018 season. 2018-2019 season. They managed to eliminate Kaiser Chiefs. But did you observe that same season when Zesco United got into the group stage?
The top scorer was Kambole.
No.
Zambia.
No. Let's continue. When Zesco United got into the group stage, they failed to progress. Who are the ones who progressed in the group? Al Hilal, who had Idris Mbombo, he even scored against Zesco United to help beat them in Sudan. He's not Sudanese, he's Congolese.
Yeah.
Nkana got through. Now let's look at Nkana's team there that year. So Nkana had in defense 4-5 there was Musa Muhammad and Ben Ban. So Musa Muhammad is Kenya, Ben Ban is Ivorian. Hassan Kesi, Tanzania. Duncan Otieno, Kenya. Walter Bwali, he's Congolese. I may have forgotten 1 or 2 other players Nkana had that year. So Nkana, for it to push through, there was Shimenga also. That's another player who scored very crucial goals. Shimenga among those. So Nkana had more influential foreign players in its lineup, and that's what pushed Nkana to the quarterfinals. Remember that Nkana had never reached the quarterfinals of CAF football before 2018-2019 in 19 years. 19 years. And you bring out the issue of the success story for Zesco United. But let's be perfectly honest here. That from when Zambians dominated the Zambian league, this is from the 90s, in and around about 98, 99, to about 2016. How many Zambian clubs reached beyond the group stage of CAF competition? No. Let me continue. Zero.
I'll tell you the reason.
No. You can't say that there's a reason for a solid 20 years. Then look, then comes 2016. Zesco United decided to say that Justin Mumba, the current FAS vice president, he said that they had a conversation with Moses Katu, the TP Mazembe owner, and then they asked him, "What's behind your success?" Says that, you know what, we buy any player from any country, because in our country the pool of players is too small to make us successful. That's why when we've brought these Zambian players and all this, we've become successful. Interesting enough, in the 2015, Wana Samata from Tanzania, they had Thomas Ulumengo from Tanzania, they had 3 Malians. So in the final in which they played, both the first leg and the second leg, the most nationality in that TP Mazembe starting lineup, they only had 2 Tanzanians.
Just there, Punch, just before you lose that thought, the success of a team in Congo goes to the final. They only have 2 nationals of their country. Is that good news for you?
That is good.
Where is the pride for Kazan?
Exactly.
No.
Punch, explain this. Is it good for Congo itself to have a club that goes to the final and they only have 2 players in that?
You know, it may not be good, but the reality is that the dynamics in CAF football have changed. Let me add on. No. It has. Let me add on, and I'll prove this inconclusive. In the year 2000, there was the final between Accra Hearts of Oak and Esperance. Accra Hearts of Oak had an all Ghanaian lineup. They had Emmanuel Osei, players who went on to play for the national team that year. They reached the final. They won it. They had Emmanuel Osei Kufo, they had Charles Taylor, they had Ishmael Ado. These are guys who went on to play for Ghana. They had Ageman. These are, I follow African football, so these are players I can name. Like, we can talk about the entire lineup of that Hearts of Oak side. These are players. Then in the year 2002, Zamalek went and played the final of the CAF Champions League with an all-Egyptian cast. They did have a couple of players during the course of the season who were not Egyptian. I think Fred Muila Senior was one of them, though he wasn't playing as much then in 2002, but he was part of that particular team. Fred Muila Jr., Jr., who had come from Ghana. But since 2002, we have had no single club reaching the final with only players from their country.
But that's not what FAS
I understand. Let me get to the point. That's not what FAS is asking for, yes. But from 2002, the number of the likes of Al Ahly, Zamalek, and all these other clubs have been increasing the number of foreign players. Al Ahly started with 1, they added 2. Particularly that's very successful period. They had Flavio and Gilberto, the 2 Angola.
Punch, we'll get back to you. Let's just get to Jones and maybe get into the minds of the association. Why do you think they are pushing for the quota system?
You know, the most successful club in Africa, they only have, right now, they only have 5 foreigners in their team. Actually, only have 5, and they are dominating Africa. They had 4. They just bought the South African of this last off-season.
They've more than 5. Point of correction.
Now I can check the lineup.
They've got more.
Do you want me to check?
In an entire season, they've got more than 5.
No, you can Google the team sheet. I checked it in this morning. The team sheet, I checked it this morning. They only have 5 foreigners. Okay, 1 I think is Mozambican, 1 Malian, South African, there's West African. 5 only. The whole team, not in the lineup. So in the
Jones, get us in the mind of the association.
So the
Why are they pushing for the quota
system? The association is, we are killing ourselves we have a pool of talent in Zambia, okay? And Zambia is amongst the how many leagues in Africa doing well? In Southern Africa should be two.
Top 10. Yeah,
We're
Zambia is
in
in the top 10.
In Southern Africa, we are just two, South Africa. And we can't afford to auction our own league to the whole Africa for our small pool of talent to start competing against the whole of Africa. That's very unfair. And Zambia wait.
Okay.
Zambian talent, we are just what? We are 15 million people, okay? And we have to compete with our what? A billion Africa. How many people are we in Africa?
1 billion?
Then no, you have to protect your own, because we can't sell all our jobs to foreigners. Zambians, it will be very unfair to subject what's our boy Budo to compete with the whole Africa. If we want to a number 8, let's put Budo here, find the best number 8 in Zimbabwe, and let's see who is the best. Budo won't stand a chance. That talent will die. Okay. So we have to give Zambian talent a chance to grow. That's why, if you see the South African model, okay, South Africa, they were in the finals. They won the Africa Cup in 96.
96?
They were in the final in 98. Then the whole South African league was flooded with foreigners.
They also went to the World Cup?
Yeah, and they went to the World Cup in 98. And the whole South African league was flooded suddenly with foreigners. And their national team performance dwindled. Just collapsed. They failed at some point to even qualify to the Cup of Nations. And they looked at what's causing that. They blocked their own talent pool, because all foreigners flocked into South Africa and took up all position for South Africans, and there was no chance for South African talent to come out. And this is what has happened. This same period that Zambian opened up our leagues to foreigners, our national team performances collapsed completely. We can't see our talent coming out. There was a time that all top scorers in 2020 were foreigners.
For 3-4 seasons.
Yes, there was no Zambian talent given a chance to be playing up front. They were buying. So, just a second.
Yes.
So, when you look at the South African model, they sit down and look at, guys, what are we doing? We know we are a rich country, but we are not rich for everyone in Africa. We have to protect our jobs. We have to protect our talent. This happens in every field. If you look at Zambian government policies, you can't import accountants when you have so many accountants in Zambia. You can't import carpenters when you have so many carpenters. We export experts, the fields we are lacking in. And that has to be limited. And football has to be the same. So
bring it to the expert, just on that point. What experts are we looking for now? We talk about football.
Quality. Have you seen what's happening at Ghana? They go to Zimbabwe and buy players like vegetables. They are so many, they buy like Congolese. All the rejected Chief Mazembe are in Ghana, you know. And look where it has left in Ghana. Ghana is not any strong with all those poor foreigners. They're not any stronger than they were, you know, during Massa's or Coach Massa's time. You know, when they had all these Sate fly, you know. Now Ghana is full of foreigners, and their performance is neither there nor there. The best player is Zambian. Who is this? The one we gave them from Power.
Ghana don't have many foreigners anymore.
No.
Ghana don't.
They have a lot of Zimbabweans and the
No,
Congolese.
Ghana only have 2 Zimbabweans.
That's I live in Quito. So this period of Zambia opening up the market for football has coincided with the Zambia national team collapse, because we can't now have any more talent coming out. Zambia now, we don't develop. And if you look at the strength of Zambia, every Africa Cup we go to, the core team is produced from local. Then we have 2 foreigners or 4 foreigners or foreign-based players to complement that. Now we can't make a core Zambian team from here, because all these clubs started playing foreigners. You know?
Good point. Let me get to Punch. There's something that Jones has mentioned. Do you care about the national team?
I do.
Don't you see the effects of a lot of foreigners in the club? Because Zambian players are not playing. If you want to have the best team for the league, you have foreign players. And according to Jones, it has seriously dwindled the performance of the national team. Your comment?
Okay. I agree with a lot of what Jones has said. In fact, I agree with...
So why support the quota system if you agree with what he said?
That's why we're getting there. I agree with what Jones is saying. Jones is saying that we need the best Zambian players to play. I've never disagreed with that. that I've always been in agreement. However, I've said that we need balance. We need a balance in terms of seeing our players successful, but also keeping the Zambian league commercially viable, because that is what players feed on. I'll give an example. Me and my colleagues, we run a consultancy, and sometimes some of these foreign clubs which want to come to Zambia, they come and ask for advice here and there to say how much we want to come to Zambia, how much does it cost for.
Are you an agent?
No.
Okay.
We're a football consultancy, so the consultants. So foreign clubs have come. Like the other season they came, and then what we'll do is that we put together the budget of like their state, the entire state. You find that on average, these guys who come from the outside will spend between 5,000 to 20,000 US dollars, which is 400,000, let's say 200,000, 300,000. That's how much they'll spend. Now that's money coming into Zambia, which is benefiting not just the footballers but everyone. Why do I bring up this point? I say that it is essential for us to have 4 teams, because for 4 visits, that means the economy is benefiting basically from anything between 600, 700,000 kwacha to 1 million. That's how much the economy is benefiting by these clubs coming here, spending nights here, organizing transport.
Are you talking about the 4 slots?
Yes,
the CAF's 4 slots?
I'm talking about the 4 slots now.
I want you to link them to your support of the quota system,
Okay.
so that we are very clear.
Okay, look, since the quota was introduced, we have moved from, initially before, one position number 7. We've moved now, next season, will be position number 11 or 10. This is factual. We are lucky because Enyimba got knocked out, so they were the last Nigerian team. So they're ahead of us, they're in position number 10. So most likely we're going to overtake them, because Anako, no matter what points they earn, we earn enough points to overtake Enyimba. But
So we'll still remain with 4 slots.
We'll still remain with 4 slots. However, look at the drop. Look at just the drop this season, from position number 8 to position number 11.
That's the thing. With the period that we've been, why are you aligning it to the quota system?
Look, because it has kicked in, and here's the thing: how many? Let's see, which teams were participating in continental
Can I
football?
ask?
No.
Yes.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Zesco United downsized. They got rid of Makwata. They got rid of all these other foreign
Those were
players.
non-performing players.
We can't say that they were non-performing.
They were.
They were. You can't
How many
get rid of best players.
how many goals did Makwata score relative to other strikers?
He
But
scored
he-
3
but
goals
not in
the whole season.
And they never
When?
scored in the CAF.
He scored the season before COVID came. Because before COVID came, he scored 7 or 8.
Now what is that?
No.
For a foreign player.
Then when
If
then
you
when
are
you
going to
add,
get a
look,
foreign player, let him score more than 10 goals.
I
Don't
agree.
let Punch
I
speak.
agree. They need to score more than 10 goals. But there are other aspects we don't look at. We look at the competition these foreign players bring. Zesco United, why they did so well was that each and almost every player in that squad needed to compete to get into the starting lineup. Cletus, he needed to compete because there were other players behind. It increased competition, and they had more than 6 players in that team which reached the semi-finals. They had 7. Nkana, when Nkana reached the quarterfinals of the CAF Confederations Cup for the first time in 20 years, they had 9 foreign players. Then Zanako, when they reached the quarterfinals 2 seasons ago of the CAF Confederations Cup, for the first time in their history, they had 11 foreign players. Now, I'm not saying that the quota should not be implemented.
But was that a good performance by Ghana? If we go back to that competition,
Yes.
They were in the Champions League. They got beaten in West Africa.
Quarterfinals.
And the way they qualified,
No,
they had 12 bottom points from first.
Nkana never got beaten in West Africa in the CAF Champions League. They lost to Simba. Ironically,
Was it not in Ghana where they conceded
no,
3 goals at halftime?
that was in the CAF
Where they
Confederation.
sub
That was in the
goalkeeper.
CAF Confederations Cup. However, irrespective of the fact, Nkana reached the quarterfinals for the first time, something which Nkana had failed to do. Even you are saying during the Coach Massey period, with all those players at Nkana failed to achieve that. But 2 seasons ago, Nkana managed. And you look at the players, it was because of the players, it was because of the competition. Because and remember that season, if Waterboya goes off, there would be a player to replace him. Nkana had depth as compared to previous seasons. Now, lastly, as I end this point, I do not disagree with a quota, but my point was that if FAS had to have come up with a quota, I think they should have put all considerations, and they could have said that, okay, what is I would have been more comfortable with 7. Why 7? because a lot
That's
of,
almost a full team.
That's almost a full team.
irrespective. You look at most African teams. Most African teams.
No.
You are talking about Alapi. Look at them in a season. They've got more than 5.
No,
look at
the whole squad, I looked at it.
look
5.
look at them. Okay,
can go
no. Let's say they had Ali Malou. That's
Okay.
one player. He's Tunisian. You can look through the last season. They had Walter Guardia, who came in. They had more than 5.
They
They had
replaced him
6 or
quickly
7.
because he was in plan.
Irrespective of the fact, they had 6 or 7 throughout the entire season.
Punch,
That-
where you labor on this point, can I bring in the issues of Green Eagles?
Yeah.
Purely local players. They've been consistent now. Only last season did they miss out.
Yeah.
What's the difference? If Green Eagles can as well knock out Orlando Pirates,
Yeah.
what's the difference with having
Look,
foreign players in?
you remember the season where Green Eagles, and this is the point that I have to belabor, because initially I used to get very excited when we see our Zambian players, watching football we watch football the same period, mid to late 90s, early 2000s, moving up. That's when we started watching football. Now, when we were watching football during that period, we would get excited. Robson Kilambe moving from Power Dynamos to Zanaco. I remember there's a game during that period. I used to go to the stadium and we had all these good players in the league. Zanaco even came up with the thing Zanaco B, Zambia B. But when they came and faced a team from Lesotho, knocked out. So I was like, what's going on here?
Was that Lesotho?
It was
foreign-based player.
No.
It's not about that.
No, listen.
Even Lesotho
Listen,
came here with a local team.
listen. When they faced Ismaili the other season, knocked out. Green Buffaloes, year after year, getting knocked out with the likes of Cotton Sport. And then I started sitting down.
Can I ask you a personal
yeah.
question before I get to Jones? Is there a way of training local players to be what they want them to be in the league?
It's very, look. I'm gonna base it purely.
Why don't you like local players?
I don't. It's not that I don't. Look. Here's the confusion we have.
Yeah.
When someone says they do not support the quota, it does not mean that they do not like local players. I'll give an example, a key example. Me and Brazil, we are business partners here. He can confirm this, or he's behind. He's asked me the question earnestly. Just 2 or 3 months ago, there were some boys who wanted to go for trials at a Zambian club. Zambian club. There were 3, were there?
There were 3.
There were 3. Yes. We went out, not foreign players. We went out of their way. We even wanted to pick them up, me and Brazil. Went out of their way to take this, and I won't mention the club because we don't like talking, and won't mention the names of the players. Went all the way to pick them up. What happened? They were not there. So the trials were supposed to be at 14 hours. 14 hours, yes. So we went, we started, and I took time from work. 12 hours, and this isn't an issue of me getting any money or anything like that. These boys needed help. So we wanted, because we love Zambian players, we wanted to help them.
You love Zambian players?
Yes.
Okay.
He can confirm. Yeah. We went out of their way. We followed them. We said that,
Manda
where
Hill?
are you? Manda Hill.
Zesco. Then we gave up. They were not
They
there.
were not there.
So what's the point?
And
What's
look,
the point
and
of driving?
we got embarrassed.
What's the point?
Our reputations, because people are just like, Punch, and was like, you said that you're going to bring these players, Zambian players here. You said that they're good, but you didn't bring them. So the biggest challenge, which we don't talk about in Zambia, is a lot of attitude of our players. Can our Zambian players, just a Zambian team, even reach the group stage? To begin with, it's never happened. It's never. A team just full of Zambian players reaching the group stage. That was 1991. Since the group stage, that's 19. Look,
it's on record.
Look, Power Dynamos. Yes, look.
You've not said anything about Green Eagles, which I asked you.
Green Eagles. Remember that season in terms of the cup?
Reached finals.
That was long time ago.
But yeah,
that was long. We'll address that first. Now look, Green Eagles, right? Green Eagles, the year they beat, and people talk about this Orlando Pirates game so much. Yes, they beat Orlando Pirates. It's true. It's a fact. It's a fact true. They beat Orlando Pirates. They played very well. However, what happened in the next game? They were eliminated by Primero da Costa of Angola. Yes, they were eliminated.
Yeah.
They dropped down to the CAF.
And again, it's because of
CAF
local
Confederations
players.
Cup. It's,
I want you to link it because
here is the debate. It's not. This is the mistake which we are making. It's not to say that local players are bad. No. The advantage of bringing foreign players is that you bring in players with a certain level of experience. They'll have been in that country. Let me give you an example of Ben Ban. There's a match which Zesco United went to play, a crucial match. It was the 2016 season when they reached the semi-finals. They were playing Horoya in Guinea. Ben Ban used to play in Guinea previously before. And he told Zesco United that this guy is dangerous, this is what you need to do, this is what we need to do to prepare.
Okay, so Punch, I have to stop you there. That is actually scouting. If a team is doing pretty well in CAF, they can actually study the opponents. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be a player who has.
Listen. The argument is if it was scouting, how come then for 20 years no Zambian club managed?
I'll
to
get
reach
back
the
to you on that one.
That one is
Jones,
in our next
for
conversation.
20 years.
Jones,
That one is in our next conversation.
he brought in a lot of concerns of unseriousness with the Zambian players. Do you share that sentiment to say when these players do not have anyone foreign in that, they become lazy, they don't commit, they are just not good?
I just don't understand how you link up that crowd to the Quota. And that's your organization and your players, which you failed to manage. That has got nothing to do with.
They were not our players.
Okay,
Jones,
I'm just giving.
can I get into that?
That's
He
not-
is talking about the mentality of Zambian players, not specifically because we failed to take this place. But he says the mentality of Zambian players do not show commitment as much, especially in the league. I want you to labor on that one, so just at least we know
No,
what.
there'll always be bad things. Even come on, how many players has Lusaka Dynamos bought that ended up just playing soccer with us at Fosway here? Huh? How many? We used to have the whole full team of Lusaka Dynamos players. They don't play with the team. They just play with us at Fosway here. In my team, we used to play with the Lusaka Dynamos player. They tell us, oh, we are Lusaka Dynamos player. And they are not in the team. They are useless players, but just staying here, getting paid, and doing nothing. And I don't know how they get those. I don't know how serious they are, and how you look. So Lusaka Dynamos last season, especially, and the season before, filled all their spots in the team with all these useless foreign players who never did anything and just ended up taking them to CAF. Because Lusaka Dynamos, you were thinking like, if you don't play, why should we pay you? Then the player was like, if I have a contract, you should pay me. Even if I'm just playing with the boys at Fosway Park, if I have a contract with you, pay me. And that's the thing that you were advising Lusaka Dynamos wrongly. And look where it took Lusaka Dynamos. So what I'm saying is the most successful teams in Africa right now, Sundowns of South Africa, in South Africa they've got a quota system. It's working. They've got 2 teams now. Wait.
That's a good point.
They've got 2 teams now remaining in the later stages of the competition. Amazulu is there. Sundowns still there. They're going to play Ayakli. All those, they have a quota system running.
I want you to check how many on the thing. How many foreign Sundowns have?
Yeah, but
they've got more than 7. They've got 8.
Yeah,
Amazulu have got 7 or 8.
No. They are those that have qualified for citizenship, which is different.
They're clever. They understand. That's why
We can do that. No one stops anyone.
But Punch, I want you to talk about.
What's that? I wasn't finished.
Okay.
So the most successful teams in Zambia or in Africa, they're observing the quota system. The teams that are not observing the quota system are Simba. Where is Simba? What is Simba doing? Every time they get knocked out around this stage. Where is the success of Simba having full of national? TP Mazembe had 1 season wonder. Where are they now? What success are they?
TP Mazembe 1 season wonder. No.
And
how many trophies did they win in 10 years? They won 4 trophies. Is it 3 CAF Champions League and 1 CAF
the smaller ones?
Confederations
Yes,
Cup?
they don't win the Champions League.
They won 3 CAF Champions League, or is it 2?
So the thing is, the most dominant teams are North African teams. And when you look at North African teams, they're so protective of their own talent. They are so protective. That's why you find Egypt can go to the Cup of Nations with 1 foreign-based player and win the tournament. Okay? Because they allow the talent to come out. And they back. What stops Zesco from buying the best players. They go to Power, they get the best player, they go to Zanago, they form a good team.
It costs money.
Yes.
It costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money.
Okay, so as we get towards the end, Punch, what is it that you want to see?
What the good thing that though I've heard, and I just heard this, I think it was yesterday, was that the teams which will be playing CAF competition will be allowed to feature. That's the Zambian teams. Will be allowed to feature more than 5 players. In fact, it will be possible for them to register more than 5 foreign players, but they will only be able to play 5 foreign players in the league. I think this is a good initiative. If FAS come and put it in properly, and some clubs, the way things are going, some clubs don't seem to be aware of this. But I feel that if, like we have a team like, let's say Zesco, they have 8 foreign players, and then they can just feature 5 in the league. That's okay, because continental football is where the competition gets stuff. Look, it's not to say when you see Liverpool featuring, so Liverpool have got 19 foreign players and 9 just local English players.
That's why England has never won
it's
a
not
tournament.
It's not to say that,
So
okay,
you have to
let's talk about Barcelona. Barcelona, Spain won the. No, let's talk
Those
about
are-
France.
Those are Spanish dominant teams.
Let's talk about France. Let's
Barcelona
talk about
is fine,
France.
very
Who are the world champions? France are the world champions, and Paris Saint-Germain have got in their squad. They've got 17, 18 foreign players, and they've only got like maybe 6, 7, 8 French players. But they're the world champions. Kylian Mbappe plays there, one of the best French players. It's not to say that Paris Saint-Germain hates French players. No, they need the balance. They need to, because football as a business has evolved. So it not just takes care of the players, but it takes care of a lot of other French people, indigenous French people. If we want to promote our academies, the money is going to come from CAF participation, because once you participate in CAF, it's a fact that your brand goes up and companies now get attracted. When did Zesco United start getting these big deals? When they played the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League. You agree with me, Jones? That's when they got these bank deals. You've agreed, right?
Why do you attribute that success to foreigners only? Do you know the
No,
superstars in that team?
here's the
Most
thing.
of them were Zambian.
Here's the thing which I personally, I don't separate foreign and local.
You do.
It's a team. No, we have to understand.
But
the
your
context.
team is not good when it only has local players, right?
It's not good when it only has foreign players either. It's not. It's not good when it only has foreign players. A club that just has foreign players without local players has no identity.
But you
It
supported
has-
the
You
two
said
players
Mazembe did that.
with TP Mazembe, 9
Yes.
foreign and only 2 players.
Two,
And
th-
you
those,
said
those,
Lusaka Deno was a big
those were the two players. Those were the two players who provided that pool for TP. But look at how they scored success. They won
Again,
the
I'll
cup
ask you in conclusion, what do you want to see?
For me, I want to see a situation whereby all stakeholders and everything is balanced out. We need balance. So we need the foreign players, because when we bring in the foreign players, it increases revenue. The salaries of our Zambian players have gone up since the arrival of foreign players. It's a fact. It's gone up because the foreign players come here and demand a lot of money. Then the local players say that, even me, they tell their agent, let me demand as much money. Then the local club will say that, okay, yes. During this period, it's the first time, and I talked to a club owner. That club owner told me that they were paying a Zambian player 80,000 kwacha 2 seasons ago. 80,000 kwacha per month.
Sambalungu?
I'm not going to mention any names here. 80,000 kwacha per month. The club owner told me, not anyone else, but the club owner. So, and then when I asked them why, it says that, look, we're paying the foreign players. We want to pay our Zambian players. Even at Lusaka Diamonds, which people complain about. Look at how much some of the local players earn as compared to before the foreign players came.
So your point is there should be a mix
There should be a mix because it
without
helps
any
everyone.
restriction?
Restrictions can be there, but restrictions.
What's exactly your restriction?
Me, I feel that 7
7.
is a number that's uncomfortable.
Well, it is. Jones, as we conclude on your end, you brought a very good point. What's the way forward? If you look at the quota system, do you still insist on the numbers that the Football Association of Zambia has given?
Yes, I think 5 is good. You can 5 very good players, and they'll lift up a team.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't you like foreign players?
No, because
Because
they're killing.
So
our
you
own.
don't like foreign players?
No, I like good foreign players.
Which foreign player?
Okay.
You've never, in our discussions, you've never talked about one foreign
Jesse
good foreign
Were was
player.
a very good back. But Zesco have held on to Jesse well without replacing him for a long time.
I agree.
And that has
I agree.
reduced Zesco, not the foreign quarter.
I
The
agree.
power of Zesco has reduced because they have held on to their top man for a long time. They needed to replace Jesse 2 years ago, you know. But
agree.
they needed to go back to Kenya and look for the best Jesse again and replace him. But you can't blame the powers of Jesse Were going down to a foreign quarter. The guy is still there.
That
So
is agreed.
that guy was a good addition to Zesco. And that's what we need. We need a player who come to Zambia like Mbombo, Jesse, okay,
Odiambo.
Otiambo. Look, how many players? We bought hundreds and hundreds of foreign players, but we can only name 3 or 4 successful stories. So it's been a waste of spaces buying all these foreign players. Look at Osaka Dynamos. I've given you an example. I play with them at Barca. Most of them. So we have wasted a lot of spaces for a lot of young Zambian talent, bringing in all these. Look at Beautiful. 2 seasons ago, they had the 14 foreigners. What did they do?
They qualified for the CAF.
What did they do in the CAF? Because that's what you want them to do. They are bought for CAF. What did they do in the CAF?
Knocked out on the first game.
First game.
But you recall what happened with
So-
I don't want to cut you short. The coach left a week before. The coach left a week before,
But
barely days before
The whole
game.
group of your foreign players
Were
were
there.
there.
There was a
right?
new
And
coach,
you-
new
and you are
tactics.
saying
You
they are
remember,
professional.
Bwezan, we went to watch
But you are-
the team in training.
but you are saying-
Even before the ball was kicked, what did I say? I said Belt could have knocked
But
out.
you say
So anyway,
they are professionals. They can adapt.
Okay.
Thank you,
You've got a
Jones.
point.
Zanako.
Let me finish. So, look at the success story that Zanako is having now. Okay, I saw you write a very negative story about Zanako.
It wasn't negative. It was.
No,
I was speaking
because
the
you
truth.
are not happy because Zanako is having a success story with mostly local based
Zanako
players.
were almost knocked out by a second division club from Mali.
Almost is not
Second division club.
Has Zanako qualified to the group
If they
stages?
qualify,
Yes, they have.
almost
That's
doesn't
exactly
count.
what you call
That's
for,
all
right?
you need.
Yeah.
You
So
just need-
let him wind up with his.
Yeah, you just need to qualify. Almost doesn't count. So if they qualify, give them kudos. So they are in there. You're putting them down because you don't see your names in there.
No. This is
which
now.
player-
Now you are.
Look.
We're gonna.
Whether-
Now you are
whether-
twisting. Let
whether-
me do
Let me-
a
wait-
rebuttal.
wait.
Because you're
I'll
twisting.
give you the chance. I'll give you the chance.
Which player can you replace Moses Speedy in Africa with? Where can you find another Moses Speedy?
Ciao.
There are lots.
Ciao.
Moses
There are
Speedy is one of the top players. So let him play. Don't buy another striker to come and replace Moses Speedy. Come, look at the players who are playing for Zanako. They're doing well. Let them play. And you can't go there and write a story you wrote, no, Zanako is out already, without even giving them. They are there on merit. No one gave them, they didn't go there on free or on buy or someone pulled out. No, they're there on merit. And they're
Jones,
going to compete.
as you conclude, there's Pyramid, CS Faxen, a Wali Tripoli of Libya, facing Zanako. Zanako has to travel to North Africa 3 times. Of course, other people have already written them
Zanako
off.
has had success story in North Africa 2 seasons.
Tell us what
2
you
seasons.
think.
The success story.
Tell us what you think about what is going to happen now.
What I think is, it's not, if Zanako loses, it's not going to be about the quota, because the team they are playing, if you go and search those teams, they all have less than 5 players of foreign origin. They have local.
Pyramids
Go
are
and
more.
research. The problem is you're just saying because of
No,
what you know.
I'm speaking
Go and-
factual.
go-
I'm
go-
speaking factual. Check.
You can Google even Eoakly. I've checked Eoakly. They've got 5. And all those 5 don't play in the same time. Usually they start with 2 foreign-based players and the local. And they have a huge success. Okay?
Well, I have to cut you now.
And wait.
Yeah.
Look at, I've spoken about Sundowns. They are doing a quota in South Africa and they have had, in this period, Orlando Pirates have won the Champions League. Sundowns have won the Champions League. They have been in the final. Kaizer Chiefs were in the semi-final. But there's a quota going on there. Okay? They're doing well. And if Zambian teams, all teams were allowed to buy top 5 players in Africa, won't this league be very attractive?
Exactly. So that's a question for you, Punch. Let's wind up with the. You've levered a lot of points. We know exactly where you stand. But let me get your final remarks on why you have to write off a team, Zanako, in this instance, even before the games are played. We are talking about El Tripoli. Of course, CS Faxen is the most successful team in the CAF Confederations Cup with 3 titles. But why are you writing Zanako out?
Okay, so here's the thing. Firstly, we'll talk based on the fact that
You are summarizing,
you are
so we
summarizing.
can't give you as many times
Okay,
as
so
possible.
you're trying to throw shade that I'm supporting Zanaco, and I know we get along like that, we talk like that. Showing that I'm supporting Zanaco, and because they don't have more than 5 front players. They do. So they've got Jacob, the goalkeeper. They've got Kelvin Ousu. They've got the other Ousu, Eric Ousu. They've got Baba Basile. They've got another Congolese who I've forgotten. They've got Katema. And they've got 2 other players. I can't recall them. So they've got 7 or 8 foreign players. So they've got more foreign players. However, that's not the issue. First, Elvis Katema is Zimbabwe. Have you seen me talk? I don't think he's a quality player. That's what I believe, but he's not
Now,
Zambian.
come
He's
to
Zimbabwe.
speed as to why you've written them out.
I've written them off because, firstly, Zanaco this season have not done well. They've lost against lower league teams. They were beaten by teams which were promoted. They were beaten by Concola Blades. Concola Blades who are struggling this season. They were beaten by Binga FC, a club from Mali, which is from the lower leagues. They were beaten 2-0 in Mali, almost eliminated. Now,
That club has a lot of foreigners. The team that beat them. I'm just checking. Continue.
Okay, but you have to wind up now.
okay, all right. Okay. Yo.
The Quota system.
So, look, Zanaco will do a lot of traveling. They'll be traveling all across the place. And I feel that the traveling is going to cost them unless they get, because a lot of times you find that Zanaco will travel commercial. So unless they charter, that's the only way at least they can succeed, because they're going to spend a lot of days traveling. Especially the mid February, February 13th to February the 30th. They're going to go to North Africa, come back the next weekend on the 18th, then go back to North Africa. So they're going to go first to play CX Faction, come back to play Pyramids, and then go back. Now they're going to spend a lot of time traveling, 2-3 days. Interesting enough, today in the Zambian Daily Mail, Kelvin Kaindu even alluded to that fact, said that we're going to be spending on one trip 2-3 days traveling. Now imagine that they played a league match then they leave on a Tuesday. They're supposed to play on a Saturday. CAF Confederations Cup is Sunday, apologies. So they'll leave on a Tuesday. Then they'll reach there on Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll reach there on a Thursday. Now they have to prepare. They'll only have Friday to settle down and Saturday to prepare. So that's 2 days, which is too short. They'll be spending more time traveling than playing. And that's the biggest challenge. Because when you spend more time traveling than playing, in CAF football, you are in trouble. You need to spend more time preparing for the game than traveling. And this is a challenge which Zanaco can have. But there are solutions. Like, for example, I can give one solution, which this is free advice. We do a consultancy, but this is free advice. For example, when Pyramids come for their first match, Zanaco's first home match on the 17th or 18th, Zanaco can even ask Pyramids that, look, we can, because Pyramids charter, they don't use commercial. So they charter, so they'll go straight back to Egypt. So Zanaco can say, we're going to pay you something, let's go back as a team. And some teams in CAF actually do this because they think, how can we solve this problem? And I think Pyramids they'll be like, oh, we're going to make money from this trip. So they'll make money, it's going to cost them less to go back. So I think these are
But it still come back to the same because they have to use a different plane coming
plane,
back. One way is actually more expensive.
But they can, or they can do, another example is that they can do what, there may be spaces whereby they will just be playing matches like what Al Hilal did. Al Hilal, when they came here to play in Ghana.
So are these the reasons that's why you are writing them off?
Yes, distance is a challenge.
Okay,
it's factual, and Kelvin kind of said it. So
but the other teams have also.
Okay.
No, but the other teams charter.
They'll
be reaching on the date. Pyramids, if they start off at 10 hours from Egypt, they're going to reach Zambia.
So your writing off has nothing to do with the game on the pitch.
So it has to do with the travel, which does affect. Kelvin Kaindu actually said it. He said it's going to be a big challenge in today's Zambia Daily Mail. He was quoted. So
we'll leave it at there. Just in conclusion, he had something to say in less than 30 seconds.
No, 1 minute. You know, like, this guy has been speaking all the time, and it's full of negatives. So what we are saying is, you know, the problem we have in Zambia is we want to eat from both sides. The same people that are criticizing the national team, they are the same people that are busy supporting the foreigners to dominate our league. Then we don't have a pool. Now, the same people that are shooting down Andrew Kamanga on the other side, I'm not in politics. I'm actually liking the conversation where the people are calling for Kalu to come in and work with Andrew Kamanga. I like Kalu to come in because Kalu knows something about football that you can't take that away from him. So I would like Kalu to come in and just, if they can just give him space to also work at football house or in football in someone. So Kamanga is doing something about it. Do you know where our debate started from? It's about the season of a football season. Okay, they realigned it. Do you know what used to happen in that 20 years we didn't have success? CAF games used to start when Zambian league is off. Our league used to end in November, okay, and CAF games will start in January. As we are starting league in March, so they used to find all our clubs off form, off fat. They're just on holiday. They train for 3 weeks and go to play a CAF game. And all the time we used to get knocked out because our friends' calendar was different. So football came in and realigned the calendar, which this guy is always criticizing. But how can we be working in isolation when, look, there's a window which will be open in January right now. Our players will be on holiday. How can you go and pass a trial if you're on holiday? So the football season came in and realigned, okay, to suit with everyone. When the English league is on recess, we are on recess. So we have to align and work together as a football family. We can't be on holiday when our friends are playing. We have to align. We talk about rain season. Every time one game is soaked, we complain. We go on Facebook and start complaining. No, this game. Even in England, there are games that are washed by snow and they are cancelled.
I'll have to stop you there.
For another day.
I have to stop you there. Our discussion today was on the quota system, but you've just heard something about the seasonal change. The next time we come here, we'll definitely be talking about that with the two gentlemen that are here. Okay, my name is Bwezani. I've been discussing the quota system with Jones and of course Punch. Different diversions, different perception, and I'm sure you got something out of it. Please, you can as well continue commenting on what you think about this quota system. I've seen a lot of comments actually supporting Jones and some comments actually asking this guy if he's Zambian. Yes, Punch is Zambian. He's Zambian. He's Pancherelo Chama. Okay, so he's Zambian. Let's respect his view, just as we respect the view of Jones. We'll definitely catch up next time again when we come to talk about the change of the season. Has it affected Zambian football?